Weekdays on Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware and building center location. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Welcome to Rogers Center. Beautiful day in Toronto as the CN Tower stands guard over the Rogers Center. Edwin Encarnacion cleaning off his sunglasses. It is a bright, cloudless day, and pop-ups are going to be a challenge on the infield and in the outfield. Edwin has been red hot with the bat, homered in 3 straight games starting Friday night.
Well, he has been in a comfort zone, it seems like, all season long. He is looking for pitches. He is staying back on that back leg, and when he gets his pitch, all season long, Edwin Encarnacion has not missed it. That one right there, 488 feet to left center field. He topped that off with one in the 9th inning in yesterday's game.
Edwin homering in 3 straight games for the 3rd time. He had a 4-game stretch back in April. Wayne Kirby, the first base coach, saying, Edwin, you're hot, and I want some of that. Baltimore Orioles are hot. They won 2 of 3 against the Yankees. The first time the Orioles won 3 series in the Bronx since 1976. They were able to really handle the New York Yankees. And top of the order, Nick Markakis, J.J. Hardy, and Adam Jones. And Jones this year hit nearly 400 against the Blue Jays so far. A lot of extra base damage. 2 doubles, 5 home runs, 10 RBIs. Wieters, Reynolds, and Machado. Mark Reynolds had a great series in New York against the Yankees. Nate McLeod, Lou Ford, and Robert Andino wind up the lineup for the Orioles.
6th start after 4 relief appearances for Jay Happ and the Blue Jays. 10-10, 477 earned run average. His last start, I thought it was his toughest start because he turned his ankle in the 1st inning. He pitched through it, ended up beating CC Sabathia, and I think that turned ankle contributed to the season-high 5 walks. But he's healthy and ready to go this afternoon.
Nick Markakis looks for the first pitch strike from Jay Happ, and we are underway. Well, Markakis has turned his season around since he's moved into that leadoff spot. His average right at 300. And he gets hit. Well, inside, not sure where it hit him, but you can see he's in a lot of pain. And it's interesting. I talked to Markakis this morning. He says, this ballpark has created an awful lot of problems for me with injuries. Early in the season, he broke his hamate bone batting against Casey Janssen, and that hits his left wrist on the inside of that left forearm.
On days like today, it's a very bright, sunny day, and there's a lot of glare. It's very tough to pick the ball up on the infield and off the mound, and that one just rode right in on Nick Markakis. He just can't get out of the way. He's trying to shake it off right now, trying to get that feeling back into that left arm. Take a listen to this ball hitting his arm.
I hit it flush. You just hope it got more meat than bone. Brian Ebo, the assistant trainer for the Orioles, attending to Markakis at first base. But it's funny, Markakis talked about breaking his hamate bone early in the season batting against Casey Janssen. He dove for a ball in right field here last year, got some inflammation in his knee, had to have his knee drained, and then sliding into second base a couple of years ago, he strained his abdomen. That led to surgery. So this has been a rough stop physically for Nick Markakis.
And this afternoon doesn't start off too well with a second pitch of the ball game drilling him in the arm.
Well, the reason we are delayed here, something had fallen on the field out in right field. Let's take a look at the defense behind Jay Happ. In the outfield, Davis, Rasmus, and Sierra up the middle. Escobar and Johnson and Danny Echeverria at third. Encarnacion at first, making his 63rd start. And Jeff Mathis behind the plate. J.J. Hardy takes a strike with a fastball. There's a fly ball. This is the one that gets into that sun. Sierra battling the sun. He missed one yesterday, and he stays with this one and makes a catch. 1 out.
That's how you got to stay with that high fastball and high fly ball to right field. Let's take a look at the scouting report this afternoon. brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. Jay Happ will use his fastball, and he's got an ability to pitch up in the strike zone. Short arms the ball towards home plate. And batters have talked about how hard it is to pick up the ball from him. He's got a little bit of a slider and a curve, and his changeup, he uses a little bit of a split grip, and it's a pitch that he is developing. I think could be a very important pitch for him going forward.
Adam Jones goes after the first pitch and fouls it back. The start of this road trip, New York and Toronto, Buck Showalter told his Orioles players this is going to be the toughest game of the road trip. Third consecutive day game coming out of that supercharged atmosphere at Yankee Stadium, and this is the one that he's most concerned about.
Yeah, and getting on a plane and then coming and traveling to Toronto.
Ground ball, that's a foul ball just outside of third.
But I also love how Buck Showalter has all of his regulars in there. After a tough series in New York, this one just foul, but clearly foul, called by Jimmy Joyce. And he runs his guys out there every day.
Yeah, they're in a pennant race. They're two back of the Yankees, and as my old teammate Hal McRae said, you got all winter to rest. Jones behind 0-2. Markakis at first. He was hit by a pitch. Cut on and missed. Happ with that high fastball. Strikes out Jones, second out of the inning.
That's what I mean, that he can pitch up in the strike zone, because batters have a tough time picking the ball up. It's on you quick. He's got great arm speed on that fastball. It's very quick. It's very short. And you can see from that replay from the side, especially for Jones, a little bit tardy on that high fastball.
Switch hitting catcher Matt Wieters. His average is down this season, just .239. What an asset to have a catcher that's a switch hitter, especially a leader like Matt Wieters, a Gold Glove winner a year ago. And has the ability to hit in the middle of the lineup as well.
As the planes make their way across Rogers Center.
Yeah, I talked to the Orioles about that, and J.J. Hardy said, you mean like LaGuardia? I said, no, it's a lot closer than that. They're going to be right over the top of the stadium, so you're going to hear some jets all afternoon.
Yeah, you saw Matt Wieters swing through that one and look up into the sky. You could hear it coming as the pitch was on its way.
Ball in the dirt, smothered by Mathis.
But Wieters almost 40 extra base hits this year and 67 driven in. Pretty good production for a guy who plays catcher and catches every day.
Yeah, that's a real bonus when you can have a catcher that can give you that kind of pop in production. 2 balls and a strike, 2 outs. Just outside. You know, there are a lot of scouts in attendance now this time of the year. They're trying to finalize their season-long reports, and we were talking about Jay Happ downstairs, and I said Happ had 6 consecutive strikeouts against the Texas Rangers, and the scout's first response was, oh, he's got his angle back. So baseball guys know that when Jay Happ throws from that high angle, he can be very tough.
That's what we mean when we talk about leveraging the fastball. Get on top and leverage it down into the strike zone. Like that one right there. That's driving the ball where you need to. He has always had that ability. When he's had his problems, he's not been able to do that.
Well, he's tall, and he can create even a more dramatic angle if he stays on top of that baseball. Full count, 2 outs. Markakis will be off on the pitch. There he goes. Ball 4. Half missed downstairs. Wieters laid off, and that'll put 2 Orioles on base for Mark Reynolds. Mark Reynolds had a terrific series in New York. He had 2 multi-home run games in that 3-game series.
He is a type of hitter, feast or famine. We've talked about that also. But a home run hitter who goes into streaks. And when he is in one of those streaks, tough to get him out. Tough to keep the ball in the ballpark against him.
Reynolds takes one downstairs. Reynolds became just the second visiting player to have multi-home run games in the same series since 2003 when David Ortiz did it. His last 19 games he's been swinging a hot bat.
Doesn't have a whole lot of fun though here at Rogers Center.
At CNE, the Canadian National Exhibition Air Show, ongoing today. This will be the third and final day. And Reynolds says, "You mean they're going to fly over during the game?" And he had to look up to see what was making all the noise. And you get a closer look at it now. Ball and a strike, 2 outs. Ball bounced into dirt. Mathis has had some tough chances already in this game.
Yeah, he has had the last couple of days off after that collision at the plate against the Tampa Bay Rays. He told me he was very sore the next day after that game that ended on Friday night. Back in there here Monday.
Two and one. On the outside corner, 2-2. You know, Reynolds knows he doesn't hit well in this ballpark, and the numbers really back it up. But he came out in batting practice saying, "I just hate this place. I never see the ball well." He's played 13 games here, 44 at bats. He has no home runs and 2 RBIs, hitting .159
with a boatload of strikeouts.
Perhaps having trouble with that release point on his breaking ball so far.
Mathis again does a good job. Watch how quickly anticipating that ball in the dirt. Just get some piece of your body in front of it. Keep it in front of you and keep those runners right where they're standing.
Well, another full count. Markakis at second. Wieters at first. They'll be off on the pitch. There are 2 outs. There they go. Strike 3 call. Reynolds didn't like the call. He has run up. Lance Barrett called him out. The inside fastball. Happ strikes out a pair and leaves 2 stranded. Little bit of a struggle early on, but he gets a nice call from the umpire to end the inning. Orioles, and obviously the Orioles are thinking about the postseason. They trail New York just by 2 games. Top of the order for the Blue Jays: Rajay Davis, Colby Rasmus, Edwin Encarnacion. Lind is the DH batting cleanup. Yunel Escobar against the Orioles has a .319 career average. He played his first game for the Blue Jays against the Orioles in Baltimore and had a good series in his first series with the team. Kelly Johnson, Moises Sierra, Jeff Mathis behind the plate, and Adeiny Echeverria continues to fill in at third base.
This is Joe Saunders going to get the start this afternoon for the Baltimore Orioles. He was acquired by the Orioles that last day we were in Baltimore last Sunday and made a start for the Orioles and gave up 4 runs in the first inning Wednesday against the White Sox. He doesn't throw that very hard. He moves the ball around. He'll give up his share of hits, but one thing he will do is he'll throw strikes.
Saunders gave up 4 runs in his first outing in the first inning. Last time out against the White Sox, he'll try to get the ball down a little earlier. He's not a power pitcher by any means. Spent 5 years with the Angels, so some of the Blue Jay players will have knowledge of Joe Saunders. Davis fouls it back. Rajai Davis is average at 244. Davis had a rough day yesterday. Most of the Blue Jay hitters did against David Price. Off speed pitch fouled off the catcher. Davis struck out twice against Price. He ended up the day 0 for 4 with a walk. He scored a run in the 7th. Way outside for Saunders.
The Blue Jays put up good at bats against David Price yesterday. Things weren't easy for him. He had a decent game in winning that, but the Blue Jays, I thought, made him work for it.
And Saunders wanted that pitch. You can see by the hesitation he anticipated strike 3. Popped up shallow second base, and Andino has it. That's the first out. Bottom of the first. Take a look at the defense, and don't get fooled by the 94 errors. The Orioles defense has been much better in the second half of the season because of Nate McLaughlin in left field and Manny Machado at third. It's McLaughlin, Jones, Markakis in the outfield. Hardy and Andino up the middle. Machado and Reynolds are in the corners, and Matt Wieters behind the plate.
And very underrated at shortstop is J.J. Hardy. He leads Major League shortstops in fielding percentage and assists. He has had 646 total chances at shortstops, and he's made 6 errors. Pretty impressive, and that's what you got to have when you've got a ground ball pitching staff.
That's what's surprising about his 6th there. Came on Saturday and may have cost the Orioles a chance to sweep. Kobe Erasmus gets tied up with that inside pitch. We mentioned Joe Saunders pitched from 2005 to 2010 with the Angels. He was an all-star in 2008. Another pop-up behind the screen, out of play. Saunders had such a good start to his career with the Angels in 2008 and 2009. He had 33 wins. That was second only to Roy Halladay's 37 over the span of those 2 years. This is his 8th start against the Blue Jays.
31 starts in both of those years, so a guy you could count on.
Saunders was acquired in a deal with the Diamondbacks. Matt Lindstrom, the hard-throwing reliever, went to Arizona in exchange for Saunders. The broken bat, one hopper to J.J. Hardy at short, throws him out. 2 quick outs. Edwin Encarnacion, we mentioned he's red hot, homers in 3 straight games, and yesterday in the 9th he delivered his 37th.
2 outs, and after a base hit, he gets a shot against Ramos, and he delivers. Once again, high fastball. See you later. Into the stands in left field. Edwin Encarnacion having a heck of a year. And I asked Dwayne Murphy today, I said, what makes him so good? And he said, you know, he'll sit on pitches. He has a better idea of what he wants to do when he steps into that batter's box. And that's what allows him, I think, to sit back and wait for his pitch.
You know, and Murphy deserves a lot of credit for simplifying things as far as a game plan. He said, hey, Edwin, think about what you want to hit, not what the pitcher wants you to hit.
Yeah, he's starting to do that. He'll go up there one time, and he's got a very good idea of what the pitcher's trying to do to him. So if he's got a good cutter, he might sit on a cutter until he gets to 2 strikes, or a curveball. That time he was looking for something else as he let the curveball go by. But when you do that, when you start eliminating pitches, especially early in the count, you can sit on certain pitches, and that'll help you take mighty cuts.
Right back to the mound. Saunders gets it, throws high, but he still has time to retire Encarnacion. Joe Saunders up to a good start. much better than last time out. We are scoreless after 1. Quattron. To enter, visit Hit a Home Run with Sharp.ca. A beautiful day in Toronto. And it has been a gorgeous Labor Day weekend all weekend long. Lots of fans in attendance and lots of things going on down on the lake shore. CNE is wrapping up today. Its long run. And school will begin tomorrow. Manny Machado, the third baseman, goes after the first pitch and hits it down the right side. This is playable. Moises Sierra misses it. Ball goes all the way to the wall. Machado is headed toward third. Sierra retrieves it on the warning track and gets it back in. Moises Sierra, a long run, battling the sun all the way, and almost just ran past it. When he reached up for it, it was behind him.
You know, if you don't have to leave your feet, I think you have to stay on as long as you can. And this is an instant right here. I think Sierra doesn't have to dive for the ball. He slides, and that takes his head away from the ball, and he misses it. If he could just stay together, stay on his feet, play the ball off to the side, he will be fine. But when he slid like that, he lost it. That's what he's looking up into. And next thing you know, Machado is standing on third base.
First error of his career committed in right field, and Jay Happ will go to first. And good job by Nate McLeod. Never hesitating, taking advantage of that runner at third base. He just pushed it to the mound and picks up the RBI. Machado scores, and the Orioles have a 1-0 lead.
We've got that pitcher, left-handed pitcher, falling off the mound. Machado's going to read it. If it's down, he can go. Certainly enough speed, and you see Happ take a look, and I think if it was later in the game, he might have had a shot. But it's the second inning, get the out over at first base.
Yeah, don't compound that error in right field by making another at home plate. Take the out. 1 out. Lou Ford. What an interesting story Lou Ford has been for the Orioles. You talk about the Orioles just finding help wherever. They went out and picked up Ford to give them a little better presence from the right side, and he homered in back-to-back games for them already.
Last played in the major leagues with Minnesota in 2007.
Right off the end of the bat, Encarnacion will go to the bat. Ford's retired. It's the second out of the inning.
Anywhere where you can find a bat or a glove or a spark or something to help you win a ball game. Buck Showalter has had a knack for finding players like that, bringing them up, putting them in situations where they succeed and helping them win a ball game.
Well, and Buck credits his front office, Dan Duquette, the GM, the ownership, for allowing him to do that. He said, hey, we have to take and roll the dice with a lot of people. And sometimes ownership will say, hey, you don't need that guy. And Buck says, we need a lot of help. And they found it from different sources, that's for sure.
Isn't that amazing? They put it all together and help them win ball games.
Robert Andino making his 77th start at second base, and he didn't plan on playing an awful lot, but Brian Roberts basically has missed another full season. Been a struggle for Andino of late with the bat, just 5 for 37. But he's got some help as well. Ryan Flaherty has platooned with him a little bit at second.
He's the left-handed part of that platoon right now. Andino, the right-handed.
That goes after the strikeout with that fastball, but missed the outside edge. There's the strikeout. Foul chip into the glove of the catcher, Jeff Mathis. Jay Happ continues to strike out hitters. That's his third of the game. For the Blue Jays, it'll be the cleanup man, Adam Lind, followed by the shortstop, Yunel Escobar, and Kelly Johnson, the second baseman. Enjoying those big comfy green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone are guests of TD Canada. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. A gorgeous way to wrap up your Labor Day weekend, sitting right there on the field in those TD seats. It is a beautiful day. A little bit warm today, but overall it's been a spectacular weekend.
Get that last part of the sun. Get some suntan before it's all gone.
Adam Lind takes a pitch outside, ball one. Lind would like to have a strong month to finish up on a positive note this season. Telling the Blue Jays are going to have an impact in this pennant race. Their schedule is going to feature so many of those contending ball clubs, and you can see since he's gone off the DL, just 8 hits.
He has used the whole field a little bit better. Hitters have tried to keep the ball away from him, and he has hit the ball the other way quite well. He had a couple of nice hits against a left-hander in New York that were pretty good.
And the ball hit right to the second baseman and lines out to Andino.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for Joe Saunders, the Oriole starter this afternoon. 31 years old. Again, he'll give up his share of hits, but he finds a way. His fastball is in the 88 to 92 miles an hour range. He's got a decent curveball that he'll use about 13% of the time. A fading changeup, I think, is his second best pitch. Spring training of 2011, he added a cutter to his repertoire. Now he is all about control and location. He's got 3 pitches he throws for strikes. And again, it just won't overpower you.
Escobar goes after the first pitch and fouls it back. Yunel Escobar had Saturday off. He was back in the lineup yesterday. He bunts this ball to third. Manny Machado bare hands it. What a play. What a play on both ends. Manny Machado, who is a natural shortstop, barehanded it, but maybe even more impressive was the first baseman, Mark Reynolds.
He plays a very good first base. He's a right-handed fielding first baseman. First the throw off of one leg, and it's going to tail into the runner, and as a right-handed first baseman, that is a tough one because your glove is heading right into that base path, and you can get some serious injuries off of a collision. But watch him dive, keep that toe on there, and then get out of the way right there as Escobar slides in. He made a play like that at Yankee Stadium. Same type of play where he had to dive for a ball, but he kept his toe on the bag. Mark Reynolds can play some first base.
This defense is really tightened up because of those two positions. Third base, the Orioles have used 6 different starters this season. Manny Machado was playing shortstop. They called down to Double-A and said, have Machado take ground balls at third 20 minutes a day, and he did it for 2 straight months. So when they were ready to call him up and have him play third, Buck Showalter said he's played third for the last 2 months, just not in a game.
Just give me some defense, and that's what the type of player they want. They want a guy who can play defense.
Kelly Johnson with a 2-2 count. This is popped up behind third base. Machado makes the catch. Blue Jays are done in the second. Joe Saunders off to a good start. 6 up, 6 down. The Orioles are up 1-0. Never too late to get suited up for the 2012 baseball season at jshop.ca. jshop.ca has the largest online selection of authentic Blue Jays caps, t-shirts, jerseys, and more. Visit jshop.ca or call 1-877-JAYS-SHOP. The return to the quasi-original uniform has really been popular. The colors have been outstanding and they've been well received. Nick Markakis got hit by a pitch in the first. One of 2 base runners the Orioles left stranded in the first inning.
Talked to Jim Presley today around the batting cage, and I said, what makes Adam Jones so good, and what makes Nick Markakis so good? He said, well, they've got talent, first of all. That's the first thing you have to have, but they have the desire to be great.
There's a bouncing ball. Happ slipped a bit as he got off the mound, but he gets there in time. That was the play that caused problems for Happ back in New York.
That was in the first inning in New York. He was on the mound, and when he made his break to towards first base. A little twitch of that right ankle. This time he gets over there in plenty of time to make the play before Markakis gets there, and it contributed a little bit to his land. It was his landing foot, and it contributed to the 5 walks.
Now, there's no doubt about it in my mind that he just couldn't really drive and plant on that landing foot. This has popped up. Sun's an issue now. Encarnacion, no problem. He had a good angle. He was looking away from the field, and that allowed him to get a good angle on that top of him.
Yeah, he's looking right at the CN tower, and that keeps him away. You play it off to the side like that, and no problem. He had that one easy.
Boy, he's played well in the field. We've talked so much about his bat. Why not? He's had a great career season, but he has really played well at first.
And I think the bat has contributed to him being a very good defensive player.
Interesting.
You get a lot of confidence offensively like that, and then I think it just carries over to you on the defensive side. And they've kept him off of third base. He looks very comfortable at first base. Here is Adam Jones, who we were talking about. But to finish that thought, what Jim Presley was saying, along with great talent, is they've got the will to be great. They want to go out there and they want to pound that pitcher.
That's past Chavarria into left. Jones with his first hit of the afternoon. That's the first hit of the ball game. A 2-out single in the third.
Down and away, and it comes out over the plate and up. You can see Adam Jones fooled just a little bit. The timing was off just a little bit, but he still kept enough weight back to hit that ball by Chavarria.
You've played first base. You know when hitters get down to first, all you guys talk about is hitting. Boy, you hit that ball good.
We're not talking about defense.
Matt Wieters. Wieters walked in the first inning. Orioles lead at 1-0. An unearned error in the second. Jay Happ was looking away, and Mathis noticed that, and he just held up on the throw, bounced it to the plate or to the mound, and Happ had to kind of scoop it.
Yeah, he called his name to get his attention. Almost threw that ball right by him. Got to be careful here. 2-0, and Wieters has power.
He got a fastball, but takes a strike. Jones with a little bit bigger lead at first, not running. Off the plate, 3-1. The Orioles are hot right now, but over their last 40 games here at Rogers Center, they have not played well. They have a 7-33 record coming into this game, playing at Rogers Center. This season, they lead the season series 7-4. And the Blue Jays have owned this head-to-head matchup for the last several years. This is a different story this year.
They have one of the longest active winning streaks by a home team in a series, and it's against the Baltimore Orioles. All the breaks have gone their way.
Wieters is late on the fastball and pops it into the seats.
This is the season series. Orioles are leading it, though, through 18 games this year. They have pitched a little bit better. Everything is about the same offensively. The average, the runs, and the home runs, all about the same. It's just the Orioles pitching, especially their bullpen against the Blue Jays this year, has been just a little bit better.
Full count, 2 outs. There goes Jones, and Wieters spoils a good pitch. The Orioles have not won the season series against the Jays since 2004. They went 11-8 that year, but ever since that 2004 season, Blue Jays have had the upper hand. Changeup is pulled foul. Jay Happ has been a nice addition to this rotation. As Pat mentioned earlier, Happ's last 3 starts have been very good against tough teams and good pitching. At New York, he won that decision, just 5 innings, but he had the ankle problem. Lost a tough game in Detroit when he matched Justin Verlander pitch for pitch. Happ left that game with the lead. Leaders will walk for a second time. First and second, 2 outs. Last 4 starts for Jay Happ. He's gone 3-0. And that includes starts against the Yankees here at Rogers Center, the Rangers here, and then at Detroit and at Yankee Stadium. He's pitched very well against some tough ball clubs.
Yeah, he certainly has. 24 innings, 25 strikeouts against that. Good offensive teams. Beat the Yankees twice, beat Texas, and had a good chance of outdueling Justin Verlander on the road in Detroit, but offense couldn't pick him up.
Mark Reynolds is late on that first pitch, and you don't say that very often with Mark Reynolds. He's a pretty good fastball hitter.
Yeah, he is hunting fastball, especially early in the count, and that's the best time to go up there swinging. Pitcher had just given up a 2-out base hit and then a 2-out walk, so you know he wants to get ahead of you early in the count. Home run hitter in Reynolds was looking to put 3 on the board.
Broken bat pop up, long run for Encarnacion in foul ground, and pops it. He dropped it. It hit in his glove, and he actually slowed down a bit because he was going to overrun it, but it hit off the heel of his glove.
Tough play. It's a tough play for a first baseman. He is playing in on the infield to keep that runner close to first base. A ball that has popped down the right field line, he's got a long, long way to go. And as he reaches out, it just hits off the heel of his glove. That is extraordinary effort,
yeah,
I think.
That's a tough play. You got such a long run, and by the time you get down there, that ball was bouncing on you.
He is playing behind the runner with a right-handed batter. You can see how far off the line he is. That was a long, long way for him to go.
And Jay Happ picks up Edwin Encarnacion by striking out Reynolds for a second time. Reynolds will leave 2 men on base. Jay Happ with another strikeout. He has 4 already. Toronto hits a home run in the 4th inning. A lucky winner will take home a Sharp home theater system, including audio soundbar, Blu-ray player, and an Aquos LCD TV. To enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Sharp, big is too small a word for it. 1-0 ball game, bottom of the 3rd inning. It'll be Moises Sierra, Jeff Mathis, and Adeiny Echeverria, the bottom 3rd of the order for the Blue Jays. Joe Saunders has retired 6 straight. Last time out in his first start with the Orioles, he gave up 4 runs in the first inning. Off to a better start this afternoon. Moises Sierra's averaged down to 259. Goes after the first pitch and hits a high fly ball into center. Adam Jones makes the catch, 1 out. We mentioned Joe Sanders started out his career with the Angels. He spent 5 years in Anaheim and pitched 20 games over 500. He was an all-star in 2008. Then he switched over to the Diamondbacks, and things didn't go quite so well for him, although he had a better ERA.
You can count on him for innings. He's not a guy who's got that maximum effort. He knows how to pitch. He's about control and command. He'll give you innings. Last year, 212 innings, which set a career high. Made 33 starts last year for Arizona. I think it's a good pickup by the Baltimore Orioles.
Well, they had to do something. Jason Hamill was out, although he's scheduled to come back on Thursday. They needed another arm in their rotation. Jeff Mathis fouls it back. He's behind 0-2. Brian Mattis, who was in the rotation early, had failed, was back in the minor leagues. He's since come back as a reliever. Jake Arrieta, who was in the starting rotation, didn't fare well, and they needed some help. And then when Hamill got hurt, it really compounded the situation.
Just 1 short, and it cost him cash and Matt Lindstrom. Matt Lindstrom is a reliever who was sent the other way for a starter, and I think you make that trade every day.
Well, and they're dealing from strength. Obviously, their bullpen is one of their strong suits, and they had plenty of arms down there, so they could give up Lindstrom. And Buck Showalter's been very pleased with the additions they've gotten. They have tightened up their defense with the addition of Nate McLeod. By calling up Manny Machado, they freed up Reynolds to play first, and Reynolds is much better on the other side of the diamond. Here comes McLeod, and he makes the grab.
I think over the last couple of years, since Buck Showalter has been in there, they have been very astute at making trades and making good baseball decisions. They have really raided the Texas Rangers and taken a lot of talent away from the Rangers in some of their trades. The Jeremy Guthrie trade, I thought, was a Brinks job right there.
Jason Hamill and Matt Lindstrom. Another first pitch swing. Echeverria pops up to center fielder Adam Jones. 3 fly ball outs for Joe Saunders. He's gone through the Blue Jays in order 3 straight times. Be tonight, the Minnesota Twins in Chicago, and the White Sox are thrilled. It's anybody but the Tigers. The game starts at 7 p.m. tonight. That's 4 p.m. Pacific time. The White Sox lost 7 straight games to the Detroit Tigers, and now they find themselves in a flat-footed top atop the AL Central. Hector Santiago, the left-hander, will go to the mound for Chicago. Sam Dadino for the Twins, and Chicago needs Adam Dunn back. He's been out with a oblique strain, and he missed the last 2 games of that Tiger series.
And if they have any thought of getting into the playoffs, they got to beat teams like the Minnesota Twins. They have the worst record in the American League, and they got to think about pummeling them and sweeping that series.
Yeah, you got to regain your confidence for sure. Manny Machado reached on an error. Cues this one off the end of the bat. This is going to be tough. Encarnacion calls and misses Jay Happ. That's the old play that's very difficult. I got it, you take it. It hit off the end of the bat, had a lot of spin on it. Encarnacion called for it, and then Jay Happ went to the bag, but they couldn't connect on the toss.
Yeah, everything was done correctly by the Blue Jays. If the first baseman feels he can get that ball, go ahead and call off that pitcher. So they do all of that right. The execution, though, just wasn't there. You hear Encarnacion call off Jay Happ. The flip just leads him too much, and he can't make the play.
Encarnacion will be charged with an error if he throws that ball to Happ. Obviously, they get Machado, but Manny reaches for a second time on a Blue Jays error. Nate McLouth, who bunted home the only run of the ball game. Sacrifice bunt pushed it up the first base side past the pitcher. Ball on the strike.
Orioles do a good job of manufacturing runs and bringing runs around. They'll use the bunt, they'll use the hit and run, they'll do things. It helps that they hit some home runs, their share of home runs, but they just have a way of creating innings and taking advantage of the other team's mistakes.
It's really interesting. This team has a negative run differential, but where they really shine is in 1-run games and in extra inning games. Buck Showalter is a taskmaster as far as fundamental execution.
And that's why it helps them to manufacture runs.
McLouth strikes out. That's the first out of the inning. 1 down, a man at first.
The all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
One out. Lou Ford grounded out to first base his first time up. Big swing, and he misses that first pitch.
You know, that's why I was a little surprised that they didn't bunt McLouth once again, taking advantage of that error and giving your team a shot, 2 shots really, and driving in that second run, just playing for the 1 run after the error.
Snap throw to first, had it been, he got him. Yep. Machado just strayed too far from first. The throw was off to the outside of the bag, but Encarnacion with a terrific tag, and Mathis picks off Machado.
You know, we talked about Jeff Mathis in the opening for our defense about the job that he has done as a catcher. He is in the game. He is always thinking. That time he sees the rookie straying a little bit too far, and just like that, picks him off. So that negates the error by Encarnacion.
Edwin did a nice job with the glove. Machado knew he wasn't going to beat Encarnacion to the bag. He tried to pull his hand back, but Edwin stayed with that hand and eventually tagged him out. But a bounce back for Jay Happ, another strikeout. He strikes out McLouth and Lou Ford, and the Blue Jays pick off Machado at first. inside scoop and latest stories from the Blue Jays and around baseball, visit our MLB Mashup blog on sportsnet.ca featuring Shai Davidi and Mike Cormack. Everything you want to know about the Blue Jays and all around baseball in this month of September into the final 3 games in October. Check out the MLB Mashup blog on sportsnet.ca. Rajay Davis jumps on the first pitch and fouls it back. Joe Saunders done a good job. He's retired the Blue Jays 9 up, 9 down.
You know what's impressive about that is it just took him 34 pitches to get through the first 3 innings. Doesn't have a strikeout. The ball's going to be put in play when he is out on the mound. And the Blue Jays' approach is okay this afternoon. They are aggressive, and they are aggressive early in the count because they know he's going to throw a lot of strikes. And I think I'd rather have my hitters in swing mode than trying to take and work walks that way. Be aggressive.
The appeal down to first base. Jim Reynolds said Davis went around, and that's a strikeout for Joe Saunders. First of the afternoon.
LJ aggressive. And just can't hold up. That ball is up. If it's up there, it's up there for a reason. I think you got to set your sights down against Saunders.
Colby Rasmus ducks back from a hanging breaking ball. Saunders has mixed in a little bit of everything. He had some pop-ups, a line out to the second baseman. Only 3 ground ball outs. And it took a terrific defensive play by Manny Machado and Mark Reynolds on a bunt by Yunel Escobar in the second inning. Machado, we mentioned, he's a natural shortstop and a good-looking young player, but Buck Showalter said he can play defense and we can live with whatever problems he might have as a young player with the bat.
Mark Reynolds on the other side of the field, I think better suited for a first baseman. 6 errors at third base. That was in 15 games this year. 15 starts. He's made 5 in 80. This is his 80th game this year at first base.
Fly ball to left. Make McLeod, the former center fielder, has a lot of range, makes an easy play of it. 2 down. Joe Saunders looks very comfortable today.
Just like the Saunders from a couple of years ago when he was with the Angels. Lots of strikes and lots of balls in the air. Not too many strikeouts, and he won't walk anybody. He's got a tremendous 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
Edwin Encarnacion grounded out to end the first inning. Pops this one up off the end of the bat. Adam Jones, a former Gold Glover, comes in, and another 1-2-3 inning for Joe Saunders. We've played 4. Baltimore leads 1-0 on an unearned run. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the been on fire since July 29th, 22-10. That's a better record than the Oakland Athletics, and Oakland has won 9 straight. Tampa Bay Rays at 21-12. Nationals hanging in there at 21-12. The Reds also have 22 wins, like the Orioles. But it's been a tightening of the defense. The fact that now they have a little more confidence. This team has not been to the postseason since '97. That was their last winning record. This has popped up another tough chance for Encarnacion, and he's going to run out of room.
Wouldn't you know it? On a Sunday like today, you got 2 pitchers who throw a lot of fly ball outs. People talk to us, they did early in the season when Baltimore got off to that really good start. Can they maintain it? And you and I both said they certainly can. And the one factor that has really been in their favor this year is their bullpen has won a lot of games for them.
Well, and we have seen it over the years. You look at contending ball clubs, and all you got to do is check at the back end of their bullpen. The back end of the bullpen, the 7th inning guy, the 8th inning guy, and the 9th inning guy, if they can rack up strikeouts, they're going to be in games. And Buck Showalter will tell you, if you have that bullpen to close out games that you're supposed to win, then you're not going to have many problems.
He is a master at getting everybody involved, keeping everybody's innings right around the same, getting the favorable matchups that he needs. I mean, that's just how he ticks. That's how he thinks. And he's got the weapons this year.
By winning the series in New York, that was the 25th series of the season, 25th series win of the season. That was the most the Orioles have had since '97. And that '97 season, they had 31 series wins. And that's how you go to the postseason. You win those series.
And you win those tough series. That was a tough series against a good team in New York. But they have been finding their way to those wins all year long.
Full count, nobody out. Line drive into center. That'll get down in front of Rasmus. Robert Andino has a leadoff single. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. And the Nats had made that much feared, much anticipated announcement that Steven Strasburg will have 2 more starts. I still don't think how that's going to fly. That is not going to fly.
I understand it. I understand the thinking behind it. Do you think that if they get down to, well, if they get into the playoffs, which they probably will, if they leave him off the playoff roster, you think they do that? I just can't.
I didn't think they'd shut him down. Nick Markakis, the leadoff batter.
What if you need 1 game to get into the playoffs, or 1 game to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs? Wouldn't you want to throw him?
You have one of the true shutdown pitchers in all of baseball, and you're going to have him inactive. I mean, this is considering if they make the postseason, obviously. I mean, just think about the psychological blow for the rest of the team. You got a 6.5 game lead. That's comfortable, but we saw those evaporate last year. The Braves were comfortably ahead, and they couldn't get it done. Boston had that type of cushion to go to the postseason. But what about the attitude in the clubhouse? Oh, yeah, we're going to go out there and we're going to go up against whoever without Steven Strasburg. I mean, that's hard to handle. I asked Buck Showalter about that this morning. He said, why didn't they do this in April?
Yeah. Stretch it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Save him towards the end of
If you wanted to protect him, leave him in extended spring training. Let him throw down there. Let him throw every 5th day. It doesn't go on his record. You don't have stressful innings. And then bring him up middle of May.
Weather's cold.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't want to hurt his arm.
Bad planning. And there's no guarantees that he's not going to get hurt next year.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. They could go through that whole thing and miss him in the playoffs, and he could still get hurt. You know what? All I'm glad is I don't have to make that decision.
Yeah, come on. You'd like that opportunity, because if I had that decision, I'd say, Steven, you're pitching until we're done. Full count, nobody out. And Dina with first, Markakis the batter. There goes Andino. Markakis pokes it down the left side. That's a fair ball. Andino is headed for third. Rajay Davis cuts it off. Here comes Andino, and he's going to score. Nick Markakis with an opposite field double has made it 2-0 Orioles.
You mentioned that since Markakis was put into that leadoff spot, he has taken off, and he certainly has. 345 since they moved him up there to jump that average over 300. This is a good piece of hitting. It looked like a cutter away, and he's got enough plate coverage to just poke that ball down the left field line. Buck Showalter starts the runner at first base, and it pays off as Andino circles the bases for the game's second run. And the Orioles are in business after a RBI double by Nick Markakis.
That's the problem of that full count. You put yourself into a position where the base runner at first can be off on the pitch, and that allowed Andino to score.
And the manager has enough confidence in that hitter that he's going to make contact. Left-handed batter against a left-handed pitcher, that you can start that runner.
Ball and a strike to the Orioles shortstop. Tim Reynolds had no swing on that appeal to first base. Markakis with the double now has 26 for the season. Also driven in his 53rd run of the year. There's a shot past Echeverria down the left field line. Markakis will jog around third. He's going to come in to score. Back-to-back RBI doubles for the Orioles, and they lead it 3-0.
Really hard hit ball that time. J.J. Hardy going to turn on a pitch, thinking about moving him over. No, he's thinking about driving him in. It looked like a pitch in, a cutter, and he rips it by Echeverria for extra bases. A shortstop with a lot of extra base power and a catcher with a lot of extra base power. That's how you end up scoring runs.
Bruce Walton is back with the Blue Jays, and he is out to talk with Jay Happ. But you're right, when you talk about that situation with Markakis at second, a lot of players would think, okay, well, I'll get him over. But J.J. Hardy facing a left-handed pitcher, you're the second hitter, you want to knock him in. You've already got to run.
You've got 18 home runs and now 25 doubles. I'm not sacrificing myself with the lead in the middle parts of the game. I'm trying to deliver a knockout punch.
And you always have Adam Jones behind you, too, so that gives you a little more freedom to say, you know what, I'm going to try to knock him in. If I don't, Adam can knock him in. I don't have to move him to third. So Jones already has a hit. He's 1 for 2. Two runs in this inning. We're in the top of the fifth, 3-0. Orioles. There's a little looper into center. That's going to get down. J.J. Hardy is being stopped at third as Kobe Erasmus got to it quickly. DeMarlo Hale, the third base coach, didn't hesitate to stop him. First in, third, nobody out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Now, this entire AL East division is going to be interesting. CC Sabathia against James Shields, pitching matchup, and there you see the standings as we speak. Orioles are 2 back and 2 back in the loss column. The Rays are 4 back in the loss column, 3.5 games into the standings. Matt Wieters has walked twice this afternoon. long swing. He was late on that pitch. He's right where he was a year ago in RBIs. He is one behind his season total from a year ago. The average is down a bit. I think the one thing with Wieters, the league's knowing him a little bit better now. Pitch him a little tougher.
Not a lot of catchers who hit fourth in lineups. That's the type of run producer that he has been. And the added advantage, you said he's a switch hitter. That breaking ball is always coming into him. Good draft pick by the Orioles a few years ago. He is very high. I believe he was 5th overall.
1-2, nobody out. Wieters strikes out. There's a snap throw to first. They've already picked off one guy this afternoon at first base. But Jones is alert and gets back easily. That's the 7th strikeout for Jay Happ.
Hitters are having trouble picking up that fastball. He can throw it in the upper parts of the strike zone and gets that one by Wieters. He has struck out Reynolds a couple of times. That was a big strikeout, so the runners cannot move.
Still first and third, one out. Reynolds has struck out both times. Once looking, once swinging. 0 for 2. Jay Happ, 7 more strikeouts this afternoon. His season high in strikeouts for the Blue Jays was 8. That happened in that game against the Rangers when he had 6 consecutive strikeouts. 1-1 count to Mark Reynolds.
That's 92 miles an hour, and he was late. Couldn't catch up to it. Not a letter high fastball because it's on you so quickly. He needs another strikeout right here.
Reynolds has already gone down on strikes twice. There goes Jones upstairs, no throw. Adam Jones got a good jump at first to be credited with a stolen base, his 13th of the season.
Been thrown out 6 times. Not a bad idea to send that runner on that 1-2 pitch.
Well, the Blue Jays didn't necessarily chance a throw to second base because Reynolds is at the plate. He's a guy that strikes out an awful lot. So you figure, well, if we can strike him out, then we're going to have 2 outs, second and third, as opposed to trying to make a perfect throw on Jones.
Yeah, if it gets away from that second baseman, then Hardy would be able to score. So you just give him the base, take your chances with Reynolds. Always thinking.
Infield halfway now with 2 strikes. It's 2-2. Full count. Rookie Manny Machado is on deck. Machado has reached twice on Blue Jay errors. J.J. Hardy, an RBI double. He moved to third on Jones' single to center. And Reynolds strikes out. Third time today for Mark Reynolds. 8th strikeout for Jay Happ. Manny Machado has reached on a pair of errors. The first one in the second inning. That led to the Orioles' first run.
Right down the right field line. And Sear is going to be charged with an error on that one. That was a tough play. And then this one here, they negated that by picking them off a couple of pitches later. Both balls not hit very hard, but Machado that found the way to first base.
First pitch strike. .263 average. He's holding his own. First year within the big leagues.
Yeah, first month in the big leagues. He looks like a hitter. You can see he's got that front shoulder. It really stays in there. He keeps his head down. He doesn't look intimidated at all standing at that plate. Doesn't have a lot of holes in his swing either when you watch him swing.
Third pick overall in the 2010 draft. Brad Lincoln, the right-hander, begins to loosen up. Third time through the order for the Orioles, getting their looks at Jay Happ. Nate McLouth on deck. He's driven in a run today with a sacrifice bunt. Machado playing in just his 23rd game. He has had 80 at bats. Hardy at third, Jones at second, 2 runs in. Orioles lead at 3-0. I don't know how it happens, but those line drives often find empty seats.
Yeah, I hope they did right there. That one was a bullet. Right over those seats. Those comfy seats. Close.
2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 on, 2 outs. Another foul back. Machado signed late in the 2010 season as a 17-year-old. He played in just 9 games. In 2011, he split time between Delmarva in the South Atlantic League and Frederick in the Carolina League, a couple of A-ball teams. Played in 101 games. Hit .257. But he started to show some power. He had 11 home runs. That was as an 18-year-old. So this year, at 19, he played most of the season at Double-A before being called up. And again, power numbers are good. 11 home runs, 26 doubles, and 5 triples.
He's going to get bigger, and he's going to get stronger. He's going to get better and better. You can just see his baseball instincts are pretty good.
Another 2-2 pitch upstairs. He lays off that high fastball.
What is it with these 19-year-olds coming to the big leagues?
It's a good year for 19-year-olds.
Wow.
Hardy and Jones, full count. They'll hold their ground. Strikes out to side. 3 strikeouts in the inning, 9 in the game, but the Orioles score a pair, and they've taken a 3-0 lead. That high fastball is really working. Baseball partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Final long weekend of the summer wrapping up as Monday Labor Day is coming to an end. Lots of fans enjoying a great weekend here in Southern Ontario. The weather's been spectacular. And we've had some good baseball to watch. Joe Saunders so far is shutting out the Blue Jays. Blue Jays looking for their first hit. They haven't had a base runner. Adam Lind lined softly to the second baseman. Two and 0.
Those first couple of pitches right there by Saunders to open up the fifth inning looked like he was coming out of his delivery a little bit. All afternoon long he has stayed nice and easy, firm making pitches, and now the first three pitches look like he tried a little something extra and hasn't found the zone.
3 balls, no strikes to the leadoff man for the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the fifth. There's a strike. As a catcher, I always wondered, why don't you throw that pitch on the first pitch?
That
3-0 fastball, they can always throw that one for a strike.
Yeah, make it easy. Make it easier on yourself.
3-2. Couple of good fastballs down at the knees. Popped back out of play. You mentioned the 19-year-olds. You talk about Bryce Harper of the Nationals. Jurickson Profar made his debut and made a big splash with a home run in his first at bat. He's just 19. He came up with the Rangers yesterday. Another pop back. Manny Machado, when he made his debut, was 20 years and 34 days old. So he was just outside that 19-year-old area. Tyler Skaggs of the Diamondbacks, 21 and 75 days. A lot of young guys coming up this year.
Andrelton Simmons, the shortstop from the Braves. I was impressed with him when we saw him earlier this year.
And pops it into center field. Saunders fell behind 3-0 and gets Lind to fly out to center. Fans, a reminder, Blackberry Tweeting Tuesday. The next one will take place Tuesday, September 4th. The Blue Jays and the Orioles, 7:07 start. Great prizes to be won. First pitch, autographed merchandise, and T-shirts. For tickets, call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Tomorrow night, Blackberry Tweeting Tuesday. One out. Yunel Escobar dropped down a pretty good bunt in his first at bat, and the rookie Manny Machado at third made a nice barehanded grab, and then on the other end, Mark Reynolds stretched and stayed on the bag for the out.
That was the closest the Blue Jays have come to a hit this afternoon. Escobar took a quick look at the third baseman, saw that he was back, and then tried to surprise him with that bunt, but was robbed of a hit.
There's a high fly ball into center. Jones cruising over, calls off McLeod and makes the catch. Well, generally you see a fly ball pitcher in this ballpark and he'll run into a couple home runs. That hasn't been the case for Joe Saunders. He's kept the Blue Jays in a big part of the field.
Yeah, because he's had just enough fastball just at the top of the strike zone where they just can't get the bat head out in front and pull the ball. Just enough fastball where they're connecting and hitting a lot of fly balls to center field. Adam Jones has been very busy. That's his fifth put out in center field this afternoon.
Kelly Johnson, the second baseman, takes a strike. Ball on the strike to Kelly Johnson. Johnson and Saunders were teammates through the latter stages of the 2010 season. Kelly Johnson came to the Blue Jays August 23rd of 11. And they had most of that season as teammates. What's new? Adam Jones has been busy, and he makes the grab, and the Blue Jays go quietly in the 5th. Joe Saunders has retired all the Blue Jays he's faced through 5 innings. Orioles up 3-0. Were clubbed to town. Eric Wedge has his ball club thinking about 500. They're only 5 games under the 500 mark, and they have been a pain in the side of Mike Sosa's Angels. Then the Boston Red Sox, and who knows what they're going to do to sort things out. Bobby Valentine has a new cast of characters to deal with, and the New York Yankees in for a 4-game set. The final 4-game series of September here at Rogers Center. Call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234 to get your tickets, or you can always log on and order your tickets at BlueJays.com. Nate McLouth, the left fielder. McLouth was released by the Pirates in May and signed by the Orioles, and he has been a good addition. Hits this ball toward right center. Long run for Sierra, and he's not going to get it. It bangs off the wall. McLouth is headed for second. A long leadoff double off the wall in center field.
That's the Nate McLouth that had that great year with the Pittsburgh Pirates. 26 home runs. He had a blend of power and speed. Picks on a high fastball and pulls it deep to right field. About a halfway up the wall in right field, he'll end up with another double. The Orioles back in business to start the 6th.
And John Farrell, he had Brad Lincoln ready, and Jay Happ a little bit of resistance, but he will turn the ball over to John Farrell. Jay Happ certainly didn't get help by his defense here this afternoon. He strikes out 9, but he will leave trailing 3-0. The right-hander Brad Lincoln on. 5 ways to win this year, including a grand prize draw for Canada's largest LCD TV, a 90-inch Sharp Aquos. Join Sharp Canada on Facebook today. Jay Happ out of the ball game, and obviously very disappointed. He had a good day with strikeouts. He struck out 9, but finds himself trailing 3-0.
Run scored on an error. There's another one behind this. Brad Lincoln, 42 games with Pittsburgh and Toronto this year.
Move forward with a healthy cut.
You look at the numbers that Lincoln has had this year as a reliever, outstanding. 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. And he's also had some starts. That was with Pittsburgh. Blue Jays saw him a couple of days ago when he got 4 outs against Tampa Bay, with a couple of them being strikeouts. Good fastball when he stays behind it, and probably the best breaking ball out of that bullpen.
There's that breaking ball, but it's way outside. A ball on the strike to Lou Ford. We mentioned Lou Ford's an interesting study. He last played in the big leagues in 2007, and he started out this year in the independent league, just wanting to play and proving to people that he was capable of returning to the big leagues, and here he is in a pennant race. Just never know what's going to fit. Blue Jays have a story similar to that down in their bullpen in Steve Delabar. He was playing softball in 2010. Now he looks like one of the best setup guys in baseball.
That's why I am convinced that if you can play, scouts will find you. So you just have to keep playing, and never give up. Play until they take the uniform away from you. If you got an opportunity, like you said, it doesn't matter where. Just keep playing, and if you're good, they'll find you.
I think that's great advice for a youngster that's worried about going to a major college or maybe a Division III school. As long as you can play, they will find you.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. A lot of people think they have to play on these elite teams and things like that. No. Just play the game. That's all that matters.
So the first 2 reach here. McLeod's with a leadoff double. Lou Ford with the walk. Now you anticipate Robert Andino is going to be asked to bunt. And Mathis was out to chat with Lincoln. There's a runner at second, obviously. Infield defense looking in for the sign from Jeff Mathis as to what play might be on should Andino bunt.
Orioles have used the sacrifice 28 times this year. This one might scream it right here. You want to get the ball down to the third baseman. If you do try to sacrifice,
he squares and takes a pitch inside.
You've got a young player at third base and a Danny Echeverria. And that's the guy you want to bunt it to right there. Make him make the play. Make him make the decision if he can come in and make that play. He's got to read that ball off the bat.
Well, and that's one thing you tell your pitcher. Hey, they're giving us an out. Throw it over, and we'll get an out. Guy wants to bunt it. Make a good pitch right here. Throw him a strike, and we'll get an out. Andino squares again. It's another strike on the outside corner. 1-1 count to Andino. The Orioles are tied for 5th in sacrifice bunts. The Angels have bunted more than anybody. Then Tampa Bay is right behind them. Texas, which is a surprise given their power, but they are 3rd in the American League in sacrifice bunts. Bunted up the third baseline. Lincoln has to go to first in time to get Andino. So the pitcher throws Andino out. Orioles move up 90 feet.
Good play right there. Dead the ball. Get it to the third base side. Make them make a decision. Echeverria decides to go to third base for the force, but it's a perfect bunt by Robert Andino, doing the little things to help his ball club win.
And now with first base open, they'll give Markakis the free pass. That'll load the bases and put the Blue Jays in a situation where they can get in double play and get out of the inning. J.J. Hardy, the right-handed bat on deck.
You got to take your chances sometime and try and find 2 outs. Hardy's a fly ball hitter. He's going to be a tough guy to double up.
But still, Markakis is such a good contact hitter. You got a base open, put him on.
Yeah, you got to take the bat right out of his hand and take your chances.
J.J. Hardy, bases are loaded. Buck Showalter using the sacrifice. McLeod started with the leadoff double. Moved forward, walked, and then Markakis was given the intentional pass. J.J. Hardy. Hardy has 3 career grand slams. Batting .230 for the season.
Great production, 18 home runs. He hit his 25th double his last time up. Right now he's looking for something up and out over the plate.
There's that good breaking ball. That's the pitch you have to get Hardy out with, in my mind. Make him hit that breaking ball.
He did a good job right there. 1-0. He was looking for something firm, and he was able to lay off that breaking ball. And now he is really sitting on a fastball.
Good fastball, late movement, right at the knees. 94, when he pushes it much more than that, that ball straightens out, becomes a little more hittable.
And he loses command. That was a very good 2-0 pitch right there. It had some late movement, some downward tilt to it, and it was in a good spot.
Lincoln's back in the at-bat. It's a 2-2 count. Now you can take your shot with the breaking ball. Adam Jones looming on deck. (3-0) Orioles. Top of the 6th inning. Hot shot to third. Echeverria to second for 1. Back to first. There's that double play. For Echeverria, a novice third baseman, but what a throw he gave Kelly Johnson at second. He took his time and threw a strike to the second baseman, Johnson. Watch the patience. A rookie right to Johnson, back to first to get out of the inning. Good job by Brad Lincoln. Had to a base runner, came way back into the second inning.
That was, Escobar is going to try and pick on the rookie Manny Machado with a bunt, but what a job by the third baseman and Mark Reynolds, the first baseman, to throw out Escobar at first base just by an eyelash. The closest Blue Jays have come to a base hit this afternoon.
Terrific play on both ends of that defensive play. Machado with the bare hand, and what an arm he has. You can certainly see his shortstop background because he fired a seed to first, and then Reynolds made the good play to maintain contact with the bag. Bottom third of the order. Sierra, Mathis, and Echeverria. Another fly ball to Jones. That's
5 in a row.
5 in a row. One out here in the bottom of the 6th. Football is just around the corner. Thursday Night Football kicks off this week when the Chicago Bears travel to Green Bay to meet the Packers. It's NFL on Sportsnet East, Ontario, West, and Pacific. One out, Jeff Mathis, the catcher.
I think it's time to pick on somebody else.
Jones, yeah, he's not going to drop any.
He's had a major league record last inning, recording all 3 outs in center field. It's been done about 400,000 times.
He has 7 putouts here this afternoon, 7 fly balls, and he's a Gold Glover. Won a Gold Glove in 2009. Broken back. Second baseman Andino has it. Takes his time. Mathis is out.
Yeah, I think Saunders has shown just enough fastball that it's on the Blue Jay hitters a little bit too much, and they haven't been able to either be a little bit late on it or a little bit early where they pull that ball and hit it solidly. They've just been getting underneath it and hitting easy fly balls to center field.
Number 9 hitter, Danny Echeverria. He flied out to Jones. That ended the 3rd inning, and he falls behind 0-1. There's the first base hit of the game. Danny Echeverria with 2 outs in the 6th inning is the first base runner as Saunders gives up a 2-out single.
Well, you got to figure it was going to be one of the young guys because the Orioles just don't have enough scouting reports on them, so they tried different things. That kind of looked like it might have been a changeup that was up. And Echeverria, solid single in the center field.
There's no doubt about that. There's no question that was a clean base hit. A.J. Griffin had a perfect game into the 5th inning a couple of days ago out in Oakland.
You know, for a guy who has been dealing, and Saunders has been dealing, it's only a 3-run game.
Yeah.
You know, Blue Jays are still in this game. They got to come up with a couple of hits and then a big blast and then be right back.
Two and out. Joe Saunders, his career low hit game, 4-hitter. Last game against Miami. So that was a 3-hit game last April at Miami. Echeverria takes his lead, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th inning. Rajay takes the walk, a 4-pitch walk in. The Blue Jays have the tying run coming to the plate. Jay Happ, the starting pitcher, went 5 innings plus a batter. He gives up 6 hits, just 2 earned runs, a couple of walks, and 9 strikeouts. That kept him in the ballgame. He struck out the side in the 5th, even though the Orioles scored 2 runs on 4 hits. But the 1 error in the 2nd contributing to that first run.
Yeah, take that one off the board, that unearned run, and it's 2-run game. Tying runs are on base then for Colby Rasmus. Jay Happ can pitch. He's got a good arm. I think he's only going to get better.
Today was his 5th start with the Blue Jays, and he has been good each time out. Rasmus quickly behind 0-2. Chance for the Jays to get right back in this game. Rasmus lays off the outside pitch. Of course, Edwin Encarnacion's on deck. We'd love to see him bat in this inning.
Yeah. Saunders has been much better this year against left-handed batters versus right-handed batters, almost 100 points better. So he wants to get the inning over right here.
And he does. He threw a breaking ball to Colby Rasmus. Rasmus strikes out. That's only the 2nd strikeout for Joe Saunders, but it's a big one. Steve Delabar coming out of the pen. Saturdays presented by Boston Pizza. The next Junior Jays Saturday will be September 15th when the Blue Jays take on the Boston Red Sox. The game starts at 1:07 p.m. There are special kids price tickets in the 200 and 500 level outfield seats. After the game, kids 14 and under can run the bases just like the pros. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Bus locations and pick up your tickets for Junior Jays Saturday. There's not a better promotion for the Blue Jays than to bring all these kids out and get them interested in the great game of baseball on Junior Jays Saturday. Always a very popular day on the Blue Jays schedule. New pitcher for the Jays will be the hard-throwing right-hander Steve Delabar.
Wow, what numbers that Delabar has put up. This will be his 50th game this season. And he's had 75 strikeouts. He last worked 4 days ago against Tampa Bay. Faced 4 batters, picked up a hole, struck out 3 of them. He has got a wicked split-finger fastball and a very good over-the-top fastball that powers by batters.
Well, we mentioned Lou Ford. Steve Delabar is the Blue Jays version of Lou Ford. He was completely out of baseball 2010. He'd suffered a broken elbow and had to have a plate plus 9 screws inserted into his elbow. And he had pretty much given up on any baseball future. Take a look at this swing by Adam Jones. Fouls it back. And then I'm not sure what happened, but it looked like something bothered him. And again, maybe
Left
it's
leg.
a foot. Yeah, it's his ankle or his foot.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. He was trying to shake it off after that ball that he fouled back. Maybe he rolled an ankle or something like that on that first swing. And then you can see he's walking on it very gingerly.
Yeah, you can see how that left ankle rolled over pretty dramatically. Richie Bancels, the head trainer, is out to check with Jones, and Buck Showalter obviously very concerned. This is their all-star, former Gold Glove winner center fielder. Guy that hits in third spot in the lineup, man. You want to keep him in this lineup.
Yeah.
Jones is a guy that wants to stay in the lineup. He's not coming out right now.
He plays hard. Yeah, plays every inning of every game. Watch the first swing once again, and watch the front side of that leg, and he tries to shake it off. And then we're not real sure what that is.
Jones has played every game. Buck Showalter's become a big fan of Adam Jones since he has taken over. He said Jonesy plays hard every inning of every game and wants everybody to do the same.
What a leader. I mean, you can lead by example by getting out there and playing every game. But right now, something's not right with him.
It's that time of the year. These are truly the dog days of summer. An everyday player, bats top of the order. He's got over 500 at bats. But this is what you want to play for. He's been waiting a long time to play meaningful games in September. Jones' mentor was Mark McLemore, both from the same high school in San Diego, and McLemore has been a great baseball guy for a long time. He's doing some baseball with the Texas Rangers on television, but he had a lot of influence on Adam Jones.
But he plays the game the right way. And right now he's giving Steve Delabar all he can handle. Trying to foul off some of those tough split finger fastballs that Delabar had. Not giving an inch, and this is what Jim Presley was talking about, that a guy that wants to be great. He wants to face the best pitchers. He wants to battle them and put up good numbers against them.
Bouncing ball, Echeverria. Jones out by a full stride at first. Delabar won that battle. This is a totally different look out of the Blue Jays bullpen. They plus have the addition of Brett Cecil and Jason Frazier back. They are back in the bullpen and ready to work here this afternoon. And John Farrell has a full complement of arms that he really trusts in that bullpen.
He got his pitching coach back today, Bruce Walton.
Matt Wieters hits it high and deep to center. Rasmus right on the track runs it down. Wieters with his best swing of the afternoon, but it dies in the glove of the center fielder. Two down. Jones appears to be okay back in the Orioles dugout.
Watched him run down the first base line. It didn't look like he was struggling to run. He's been busy in center field.
Mark Reynolds has always been an all or nothing kind of guy. He had a great series against the Yankees in New York. He had 2 multi-home run games in that series. He played great defensively. Today he has struck out all 3 times, but he still made a great defensive play behind Joe Saunders in the second inning. Two and one. Mark Reynolds got a taste of winning in 2007 with the Diamondbacks, and he knows what they're playing for here in the month of September. A fastball on the outside corner. Reynolds was in his rookie season. He came up middle of the season and put up big numbers, 17 homers and 62 RBIs in the second half of the year.
That can just players like that, when you're in a pennant race like that, you bring them up from your minor league system. If they do good things like that for you, bonus. Those are the type of players that get you over the hump and get you into the playoffs.
Gets a piece of that splitter and pulls it foul.
I think the Orioles are hoping the same thing from their young third baseman Machado. Give him a little bit of a spark, get him over the hump.
Bouncing ball right out in front of home. Mathis was trying to get it before it spun into foul ground. Reynolds was just 23 years old when he played in that postseason for Arizona. They beat the Cubs, but then lost to Colorado in the NLCS. And here he'll take a walk. He reaches for the first time. Blue Jays still having trouble coming up with that 1-2-3 inning. The only time they faced the minimum today was in the fourth, when they picked off a base runner at first.
Yeah, one pitch away right there for Reynolds. John Farrell make it a little bit easier on their pitchers to have those quick innings.
Manny Machado. Turns it loose and swings right through it. We mentioned Machado is the former third pick of the 2010 draft. If you're wondering who number 1 was, he's playing for the Nationals right now. Bryce Harper. There's another good pitch.
That's pretty impressive. 2 players already in the big leagues. Wow. Out of a draft how many years ago? 2?
2010. Well, big pitcher last night in that game in Detroit. Chris Sale. He was all
in
from that
draft.
2010 draft.
Wow. Already in the big leagues.
1-2. Outside. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Orioles lead it 3-0. Top of the 7th inning. Bouncing ball to third. Echeverria goes to second for the force. The inning is over. Orioles leave a base runner. The Blue Jays are still in this game. It's just a 3-run game. Edwin Encarnacion, Adam Lind, Yunel Escobar. Heart of the Blue Jays order coming up bottom of the 7th. 4 channels. It'll be a 6:30 start. That's the pregame show with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn. And then over on 1, you'll be able to see Tampa Bay and the Yankees. Freddie Garcia against Alex Cobb. That's tomorrow. It all starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific. Dos Sanders loops that breaking ball in there for a strike. Encarnacion Lynn Escobar trying to get something going against Joe Saunders.
Saunders has pitched right to his scouting report. He's got 3 pitches that he can throw over for strike. And he has done that this afternoon. Looped that curveball over. He's thrown a nice little changeup. And his fastball picked up the cutter last year. He's thrown that a little bit this afternoon to the right-handers.
1-2.
But he has basically stayed with those 3 pitches, and he's just mixed it very well today.
Blue Jays have 1 hit, a 2-out single by Danny Echeverria. They only had 2 base runners. They were both on in the 6th, both stranded. Saunders was perfect through 5 2/3. 2-2 pitch. Ripped foul into the seats.
That was a hard pitch on the inner half. He'll probably go soft here. He has worked very well with Matt Wieters. That's his 2nd start with Baltimore. He and Wieters have been on the same page all afternoon.
Inside, pushed him back. Encarnacion is tied for 2nd with 37 homers, 1 behind Adam Dunn. And Saunders walks him.
The all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Adam Lind will step in with Encarnacion at first. And has lined out twice. Blue Jays facing Saunders for a 3rd time in this game. A little bit better read on what they're dealing with. Saunders last pitched in the American League in 2010. So Wieters will go to the mound after a leadoff walk and Saunders falling behind Adam Lind. Brett Cecil, just back from the minor leagues, starts to loosen up for the Blue Jays. He is going to work out of the bullpen.
Again, just a 3-run game in the 7th inning. John Farrell knows that. Taking advantage of any little thing right here from Saunders. Walks Encarnacion, falls behind Lynn. That'll probably get the bullpen moving around for Baltimore also.
There's a strike at the bottom of the zone. Ground ball, base hit. Encarnacion will stop at 2nd. Marquez got to it quickly. Blue Jays got something going against Saunders here in the 7th.
Yeah, you walk that first batter and you're asking for trouble, especially if you fall behind the next hitter, Adam Lind. 3 and 4 is setting it up now for the Blue Jays. Solid single in the center field, and now they got to figure out a way to bring him around.
So Saunders continues to work out of the stretch. He'll deal with Yunel Escobar. Still nobody out. Escobar shows bunt and takes the ball. Orioles have a very good bullpen, and it's very deep. They've got arms for both sides of the situation. Here now Escobar. Two and 0. Saunders continues to struggle to find the strike zone in this inning.
They're just asking for trouble right now. He's falling behind all of the three of these hitters. Escobar has been hot. He cut down his swing a little bit and starting to get a little bit more extra base power.
There's a strike. Escobar has the count in his favor. 2 balls and a strike. Luis Ayala starting to throw for Buck Showalter. Off the plate, 3-1. Good job by Escobar. Really got a keyhole now. Get something you can hit for an extra base hit. The left-handed hitting Kelly Johnson is on deck.
Figure out if you're a better high ball hitter or a better low ball hitter. If you like it down there, that's where your keyhole is. You're looking for that ball down there.
Roll to third. Machado will tag Encarnacion, go to first, but not in time. And Encarnacion is tagged out by the third baseman. Escobar hustled down the first base line and beat the throw. So it's the same situation, first and second, but now there's 1 out.
It's a play right there, I thought, by Machado, the third baseman. He's coming in. He's going to try and tag the runner and then use that good arm to try and finish off the double play. But Encarnacion at second base tries to avoid that tag.
Might Machado been better off to try to go around the horn for the double play?
I don't think he would have been able to turn the double play going around the horn. And then you've got first and third and just 1 out. Get that lead runner. Or was it hit that hard by Escobar?
Kelly Johnson. Base hit through the right side. Lind is being waved around third. Now he stops as Markakis gets the ball back in quickly. Markakis has a terrific arm. He has 3 outfield assists. He's the reigning Gold Glove outfielder. And Kelly Johnson pulled the ball through the right side. Buck Showalter has quickly come out and made the call.
Saunders clearly not the pinpoint control that he had through the first few innings here. Solid single into right field, and you're down by 3 runs. You don't want to run into an out. Not with Nick Markakis, who gets to the ball very quickly to throw the ball home. Kelly Johnson not waiting around. He has a base hit. So the bases will be loaded. Good play by Markakis. Joe Saunders' afternoon is over. What a job he did pitching into the 7th inning.
Luis Ayala, the right-hander, on out of the bullpen. He'll face Moises Sierra when we come back. Bases loaded, 1 out. Blue Jays threatening. Last year, making his 55th appearance of the season. He's on here trying to stabilize this situation. The bases loaded, just one out. Hey, fans, keep watching. With the bases loaded, we're a grand slam away from awarding an 80-inch Sharp Quadtron Aquos LCD TV. To enter, visit Hit a Home Run with Sharp.ca. Sharp, big is too small a word for it. So Joe Saunders with a very good start, his second start with the Orioles. But all three base runners on base are his responsibility. Moises Sierra bats with one out. Joe Saunders, a very strong outing, allowing just 3 hits, walked 2 and struck out 2. 2-0.
Ayala, he can throw strikes. He's now in his 8th big league season. He's been around. He has played for a whole host of organizations, so these situations aren't going to bother him. But a home run hitter at the plate, take one shot right here.
3-0.
Jeff Mathis on deck, giving the Blue Jays a chance here. Buck Showalter's team has lost the strike zone.
Saunders walked 1 into 6. He walked Encarnacion to start the inning. And there's a strike. It's 3-1.
Ayala's got a good sinker. I don't think he can throw the ball straight if he tried to. Yeah, that's what Showalter was thinking about when he brought him into this game.
Adam Lynn singled. He's at third. Escobar on the fielder's choice. Kelly Johnson singled. Bases loaded for Moises Sierra. 3-2, 1 out. There's that sinker. Sierra got a piece of it, but Wieters held on for the strikeout.
Veteran pitcher falls behind 3-0. I told you he's not going to panic in that situation. He comes back and throws 3 straight sinkers. Last one, look at that one, right underneath the bat. The movement that Ayala gets to get a big out.
Well, he gets the guy that he wanted. That's a big strikeout. Now just 2 outs, and Jeff Mathis. Sierra got a piece of it, but Matt Wieters held on to it. Ayala making his 6th appearance against the Jays this season. Popped up. Shallow center field. Jones is there, and the Orioles leave the bases loaded. Blue Jays had a great chance to break through, but Luis Ayala comes out of the bullpen and gets the last 2 he faced. Brett Cecil will come on to pitch the top of the 8th. Right side, Moises here slides for it, lost the ball in the sun, and Machado would end up at third base for Nate McLeod, who bunts it to the first base side of the mound, and Jay Happ made the right play, goes to first base, and got the opportunity for the out. That was the first run of the ball game, and it was an unearned run charged to Jay Happ. But we have seen Moises Sierra have problems with the sun here the last 2 games.
Got him off to a good start. That was in the second inning. He scored 2 more runs in the 5th inning, and that's where we are. Brett Cecil now will pick up Steve Delabar, who had a clean inning in the 7th inning. Cecil just recalled today from the minor leagues from Las Vegas. This is his second stint with the Blue Jays this season. He made 6 starts with Vegas when he was sent back down. He has had 1 career relief appearance. That was in 2009, as they have said that they want to see Cecil out of the bullpen, what he can do in the month of September. He came up here earlier this year when all the injuries were happening to those starters, and at times I thought he pitched well.
I mean, 9 starts, went 2-4 as a starter. His ERA was .572. His last start came on the 3rd of August. And Brett Cecil has pitched out of the bullpen going back to his college days. First pitch to Nate McLeod is fouled back.
Yeah, he was a closer in college for the University of Maryland. So this is not foreign to him.
First time he has faced the Orioles this season. That clipped him. So Cecil hits McLeod. That starts the inning. McLeod will reach base. He was hit by the pitch. He had a leadoff double in the 6th, but was stranded at 3rd.
Colby Rasmus got hit like this. Hits the shirt as McLeod tries to duck out of the way.
Lou Ford, the batter, with a long look at DeMarlo Hale, the third base coach. The Orioles have bunted twice this afternoon already. It's a 3-0 Oriole lead. Ford swings away and pops it up behind second. Escobar is there. Ford's retired. Well, it's be interesting to see how Brett Cecil fares in this new role. Checking to see who has coverage at second on the comebacker. So now the Blue Jays effectively have 4 relievers in their pen, but there's a possibility they'll expand to a 6-man rotation down the road at some point in September.
They have talked about that over the last couple of days or so, and it's going to be built around the off days in the series that is coming up against the Boston Red Sox. There's an off day before that 3-game series, an off day after that. I think after that series, that's where you start to see the starters get stretched out just a little bit more, and they'll bring Aaron Laffey out of the pen.
2-0. Laffey is a guy that has pitched effectively as a starter. He pitched in yesterday's game and finished up that game, throwing 3 innings. John Farrell has some options. The Blue Jays will have their final off day of the season on the 17th of September. 3-0. Well, Cecil, in his first appearance of the season as a reliever, has hit the first batter, and now he's fallen behind Robert Andino. There's a strike. First 2 reach here in the 8th. Excuse me, there's a 1-out pop-up. Lou Ford popped up, so Andino will reach. It's first and second with 1 out. Now that has to be a great feeling, huh? Nice and relaxed. It's been a long day at the old ballpark. He's been over and fall asleep on Mom's lap.
No, she heard you. She heard you open her eyes just a little bit.
Back to the top of the order, Nick Markakis. He's reached base 3 times. He was hit by a pitch. He doubled in the 5th and scored, and then was walked intentionally in the 6th. There go the runners. Markakis fouls it back. McLeod led the charge. He broke from second. And Andino followed him from first. They'll retreat.
You know, there'd be a sign for that back runner, Andino, that if McLeod is going to try and steal, he'll give him a sign. You see him looking at him and then times it and then takes off. Fast runners will have the green light. That time they were trying to steal that one on Brett Cecil.
Line drive to left field. Davis is there. Markakis is out. That's their second out of the inning. J.J. Hardy had an RBI double in the 5th inning. That came on the heels of Markakis' RBI double. Top of the order drove in the 2 runs. That came against Jay Happ. Cecil gets ahead with a fastball. Fastball's been 91-92. A little better fastball than we saw when he was working as a starter.
Yeah, and you can do that as a reliever. You can come in and the manager will tell you, hey, you've got this inning or you've got these 2 or 3 batters. Give me everything you've got. Invariably, you'll see the miles per hour go up. It'll tick up 2 or 3 miles per hour. As a starter, you got to pace yourself. You try to get through the lineup 3 times. Out of the bullpen, you can take some of your pitches and say, okay, I'll put those over here. I'm going to use a fastball and a breaking ball, and I can throw it as hard as I can for that short stint.
0-2, 2 outs. Upstairs. First of 3 against the Baltimore Orioles. Blue Jays split the 4-game series against Tampa Bay. Line drive, base hit into center field. McLeod is around third. Here's the throw from Rasmus. It's late and offline, and the Orioles have stretched their lead to 4-0. J.J. Hardy picks up his 2nd RBI of the afternoon as he drives a single into center.
That's just a good piece of hitting right there by Hardy. 0-2, takes the fastball. He tries to drop the breaking ball in there. Plate coverage. You think you can get Hardy out by throwing the ball away, but he's got very good plate coverage and dumps it into center field. No chance for Rasmus to get McLeod running with 2 outs. 2-out base hit by Hardy scores the game's 4th run.
Andino goes to third on the base hit. Adam Jones. Off the end of the bat. Kelly Johnson will go to first. The inning is over, but the Orioles had an insurance run. A 2-out single by J.J. Hardy off of Brett Cecil. They'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 4-0 Baltimore. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. game live or on demand on your favorite device. MLB.TV Premium also allows you to pick up a free subscription to At Bat 12. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. Lots of great baseball coming up. Blue Jays will have a road trip to Baltimore, Tampa Bay, and Boston coming up. So an opportunity to see the Blue Jays. Good pitcher for the Orioles will be Pedro Strop, the hard-throwing right-hander, and the Orioles are 58-0 when they have a lead after 7. That's where they're at right now.
Yeah, Pedro Strop and Jim Johnson, big reasons for that. 58 games for Strop. Showalter has used him a lot. 48 of those games he is not allowed to run in. Right-handers not having a whole lot of success, neither left-handers. He throws very hard. He's got a very good breaking ball.
Now Danny Echeverria came up with the first Blue Jay hit this afternoon off of Joe Saunders. Echeverria was the first base runner to reach. He came through with a 2-out single in the 6th. Saunders had been perfect.
There's that breaking ball.
Wow. He's got good stuff.
I remember seeing him when he was with the Texas Rangers and thought, if this guy ever masters the strike zone, he's going to be dynamite. And the Orioles recognized the same thing, picked him up basically for nothing, put him in that setup role. He's been awesome.
Strike 3, came back with the fastball at 98, and Echeverria is called out. 1 down.
The all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Beautiful day on the shores of Lake Ontario. A lot of people out to take advantage of this Labor Day Monday. And you couldn't ask for a better day. Rajay Davis goes after that breaking ball and falls behind. Strop was charged with, or he's involved in the loss in New York. He pitched in that New York ball game, walked the only 2 batters he faced, and that led to a Yankee rally where they came back and won that game. He has pitched a lot, as Pat mentioned. What a season he's put together. 5-2 with a 1.86 ERA coming into this ball game. Opponents have hit 193 against him.
Pretty impressive. He was a position player when he started his professional career with the Colorado Rockies. And they changed him over to pitcher when he went to Texas. Signed there as a free agent in 2008. Orioles got him off waivers, which helped complete an earlier trade for Mike Gonzalez. That's good scouting.
Another fastball on the outside corner. Another 98-mile-an-hour fastball for a strikeout.
How about, first of all, like the speed you were saying, 98 miles an hour, but the command, where he throws that. Right on the outside part of the plate. Can't pull the trigger. Strop's 2 for 2.
Colby Erasmus goes after the first pitch. 2 hopper to the second baseman. Good inning for Pedro Strop. We'll go to the 9th. The Orioles have a 4-0 lead. Blue Jays just 3 hits. Rogers customers have more ways to catch Sportsnet's live coverage of the Blue Jays. Watch the action live all season from your smartphone. Download the Rogers Live app from your app store. Great day to be on the water, and a lot of people taking advantage of it. It's a view from the Rogers Center down to Lake Ontario. Matt Wieters, the catcher, has gone over 2 with a pair of walks. He walked in each of his first 2 at-bats and struck out and lined out. Line to left field. That'll get down in front of Rajay Davis. Wieters has his first hit of the afternoon. Orioles now with 8 hits. They've out-hit the Blue Jays 8-3.
Leadoff hitter was on in the first inning, second inning, fourth inning, fifth, sixth, and now here again in the ninth inning. It's tough to stop rallies when that first guy gets on, and it's a lot easier for the opposition to start rallies when they get that first guy on. Just gives the manager so many more options. When you got that guy at first base, you can bunt him over, you can hit and run, you can straight steal.
Reynolds looks the one down and away. It's 2-0. Buck Showalter's Orioles have a 21-14 record against left-handed pitching this year. If they win today, it'll be 22-14. 22 wins. That's more wins than they had all throughout the 2010 season and the 2011 season. They've turned things around in their ability to hit lefty pitching.
We were talking to Buck before the game, and he was saying this is their toughest game on the road.
This is a high fly ball to right. Sierra, right on the edge of the warning track, makes the catch. Buck thought this would be their toughest challenge of this road trip. 3 consecutive day games coming out of that supercharged atmosphere of Yankee Stadium. He thought there might be a letdown, but there hasn't been any letdown, and Joe Saunders is responsible for taking care of that.
That is some timely hitting, and day games have been a blessing for this team. They have the best record in the American League in day games.
Another pop-up. Manny Machado. Encarnacion makes the catch. 2 down. They also have played very well on the road. If they win this game today, they will have a 38-29 record. That is better than Tampa Bay's 38-31. So 38 wins on the road. The Washington Nationals have 42 wins on the road. They're 42-27. That's a terrific road schedule, road record. Cincinnati also has 40 road wins.
And usually when you win on the road, you can point to one thing: great pitching. Going into those tough stadiums and being able to shut down the opposition.
San Francisco, when you talk about good pitching, they have 39 road wins.
Good pitching staff. Reds starters have been outstanding this year, as the Washington Nationals.
Big Jim Johnson loosening up. He did not pitch in the Yankees series, and even though this is not a save situation, he needs some work. McLeod was the first batter Cecil faced when he entered the ballgame, and Brett hit him with the pitch to start the 8th inning. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Stay right there. Keep that breaking ball right down there, and you'll be fine. He's got a couple different breaking balls. He's got the slower curve ball. It's got a little bit more hump in it, and he's got the cutter. or the slider. That's what looks like they're going to.
Base hit for McLeod. Wieters will stop at second. McLeod has his second hit of the day. He's had a busy day. He picked up an RBI with a sac bunt in his first at bat, and he struck out, doubled, was hit by a pitch and scored, and now he's single. So Brett Cecil, working in his second inning of relief, has allowed 3 hits. He's hit a batter and walked a batter. Ball on the strike. Blue Jays and Orioles will be right back at it tomorrow night. The rest of these games will be night games. Zach Britton, the left-hander who pitched so well against the Blue Jays the last time they saw him, go up against Carlos Villanueva. Miguel Gonzalez, who pitched very well against the Blue Jays in relief earlier this season, will go up against Brandon Martin. Villanueva, he's been battling a little bit of a cold of a virus. He's not been feeling great, but he's back. Looking forward to his start tomorrow. 7-4 on the season for Villanueva.
Good ERA, 3.1. Good to see him around the ballpark.
High fly ball down the right side, but that's going to reach the seats. One and two. Orioles have a pair of base runners on. McLeod singled. He's at first. Wieters single to left. He's at second. This one's pulled down the left side and foul. If the Orioles hold on to this lead, they'll move 16 games over 500 for the first time since 1997. That's their last winning season and the last time they went to the postseason.
It's been a long drought for the Baltimore Orioles. And the Blue Jays have owned them.
97. Davey Johnson was their manager. He won 98 games, lost 64.
They were very good at 98 also. They went to the playoffs and lost to Cleveland in the American League Championship Series, and then the tough times started for the Orioles. They're going to be there all the way to the end, I think.
Full count, 2 outs. The runners will be off on the pitch. There they go. It's ball 4. But Cecil has walked, the bases loaded. And Robert Andino will come to the plate with 2 outs. Bruce Walton, the pitching coach, trying to help Brett Cecil get out of this inning. The Orioles added a big insurance run in the 8th off of Cecil. J.J. Hardy had a 2-out single to center. That made it a 4-run game. Markakis got hit by a pitch inside that left forearm. Looks like he was explaining to Buck Showalter where he feels the impact of being hit by that pitch. That came as the first batter of this ball game. Bases are loaded. Wieters, the leadoff single. McLeod, a 2-out single, and then Lou Ford took the 2-out walk. Robert Andino, the number 9 hitter, facing Brett Cecil. Goes after the first pitch. Rasmus backs up in front of the warning track, and the inning is over. The Orioles will leave the bases loaded. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. The Blue Jays trailing by 4, and they'll face the hard-throwing Jim Johnson, Edwin Encarnacion, Adam Lind, and then Yunel Escobar. Blue Jays down by 4. Series tomorrow night. The game starts at 7:07 p.m. tomorrow and Wednesday, September 5th, both night games. Get your tickets by calling the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. You can log on to BlueJays.com and order your Orioles Blue Jays tickets or stop by most Rogers Bus locations. Jim Johnson has not pitched since the 30th of August. He did not pitch in the pregame series in New York. And he has had ample rest. This is a non-save situation, but he needs the work.
Yeah, he needs to work to keep that turbo sinker sharp. It's basically fastball with great movement, a little bit of a slider. His whole thing is built on command and control. Just 12 walks this year. And he has been very impressive. Second fastest Oriole to 30 saves in their history. It took him just 95 games to pick up those 30 saves.
He's 41 of 44. As we mentioned, this is a non-save situation, but just to emphasize what a good season it's been for Jim Johnson. Edwin Encarnacion 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Encarnacion, I believe that ball was off the plate outside. But it's 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Jim Johnson has really found a home at the back end of this bullpen. There was some that believed he should work as a starter. He actually started for the Orioles in the minor leagues. Had 9 saves a year ago. He's now 29 years old, right in the prime of his career.
He is big. He can handle the workload. Also, been a setup man for him. There's that turbo sinker at 96 miles an hour.
Jim Johnson is a power sinker pitcher. We thought we'd take a look at how these two compare to closers with a minimum of 20 save opportunities and how they match up in the whip department. Casey Janssen leads with a 0.80. There's Jim Johnson. His is under 1 as well. But that's the cream of the crop as far as closers in the American League.
What they both do, Casey Janssen and Jim Johnson, is they throw strikes. They come right after you with their best stuff. No messing around with the two of them.
Ball on the strike to Adam Lind. Lind has a hit in 3 trips. Blue Jays have just 3 hits. Lind, Johnson, and Adeiny Echeverria all with singles. Fly ball to left field. Should be an easy play for Nate McLouth, and the Blue Jays are down to their final out. Yunel Escobar will step in. Well, Blue Jays had an opportunity in the 7th to get back into the ball game. It was a 3-0 Oriole lead in the 7th. Blue Jays got the first 2 reached, and then they loaded the bases. And this should do it. Big bouncing ball to the shortstop, and the game is over. The Orioles moved 16 games over 500 for the first time since 1997. They had a balanced attack today, 4 runs on 9 hits, but the whole theme of the game was the pitching of Joe Saunders to start.
And very sharp, especially early. Blue Jays just couldn't catch up to his fastball that he threw at the top part of the strike, though. Strikes a lot of fly balls, and then from there it was Ayala, Stroke, and Johnson to finish it off for Baltimore.
The Orioles win the first game of this 3-game series. We appreciate you watching. We will be back tomorrow night. Game 2 of the 3-game set against the Orioles.